Hey, this is D. Orlando Ledbetter at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, episode 12. We're going to slow it down a little bit this week. Just have myself. Go give Sideline Mike and Tobias the week off. We had a lot of news today, and we're going to get all that taken care of. Going to kind of do the coffee house mode of the Bowtie Sports Podcast with your host, D. Orlando Ledbetter. Got a lot of stuff to get through. Bijan's deal, Jalon Walker's injury. We're going to discuss the Hall of Fame, the position battle so far. It's one day have passed, so we're not getting real fired up about position battles right now. And then we're going. We got some unfortunate deaths in the football family with Jeff Ulbrichs' wife. Buck Godfrey, and our dear friend Rob Mason. We'll tell you about him later. Before we get going here, we're going to talk about some business here that we have to do. We want to get you all to sign up for the Ledbetter at Large newsletter. Go to bowtiesports.com or follow us on our social media links. The Ledbetter at Large newsletter will pop into your mailbox every Thursday at 10 o'clock or shortly there before, just to give you everything you need to know from that week prior and then looking ahead to the next week up for you. So free newsletter, Ledbetter at Large on our bowtiesports.com. And then we want you to go to our YouTube page and subscribe and like at Bowtie SG. Subscribe and like. We want to get over 500. We want to, get over 500 subscribers, and then we'll move forward from there. But that's our low threshold. So go ahead and do that and have your best friend do it with you. And then lastly, biggest thing, we've had some people take us up on this. We really appreciate it. Our subscription for the whole year. We're knocking the price down to $27.99 for the whole year. That's $50 or $53 in savings. I mean, I know everything's high out there right now, but even the eggs. I mean, $30 for a burger and a beer. I know that's a lot, but you get the whole year, everything on the website. And, we got some events that we're planning. We might have a sip and smoke in Milwaukee before the Falcons game at the Asper Club. We're working on the details of that. Some people might find a Green Bay, some might find Milwaukee and drive up. It's a 2-hour ride, but we'll have you more information on that as we get into the season, as we get through training camp. But those are 3 business matters. Sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Go and like and subscribe on YouTube for us. And then we need our subscribers. We want you all to subscribe to the website, bowtiesports.com. Got a low price of $27.99 for the entire year, the entire season, to get all your Falcons news and all your Falcons coverage from our crew over here at the Bowtie Sports. So, let's go. Okay, the Falcons, they knew they weren't going. They're not going anywhere without Bijan Robinson. So, he was holding in. We've seen some of these holdouts get pretty contentious. My plan today was to go over some of the old ones and say, hey, here's our list of the 4 Falcons holdouts. And, that would take us back to, I think Julio was the last one there. I want y'all to see my pretty face there. Julio, and then Roddy White, that was a good one. His agent, John Feinside, was, helping us out on that one. I think Abraham, and there might have been a couple others there, but I was going to, get in the archives and dig those out. But this one was so peaceful that, I know my first holdout was Dorsey Levens in Green Bay. And Hadley Engelhardt called me and told me that they had a 4-year, $20 million deal done, and they were ready to go in Green Bay. He had helped them to the Super Bowl, and It was time for them to pay the former 5th-round pick from Georgia Tech and Notre Dame out of Syracuse, New York. So the Falcons, they got the deal done. Nicole Lynn, Bijan's agent, confirmed the deal to bowtiesports.com this morning, or shortly after NFL Network's Ian Rappaport had it. And so we got that story up. We, discussed the signing with Kevin Stefanski today, Tua and Mason Short, and his offensive running back coach, Michael Petrie. Michael Petrie is who we really talked to about that. We talked to Short about Jalon Walker, of course. But here's the deal. They didn't have to do this, but the Falcons know they're not going anywhere without Bijan. They could have strung him out. He could have played next year and the year after on his original rookie contract with an option, and like they just did Drake London. Drake London played the whole 5th-year option. Garrett Wilson got his deal last year, but the team was in a state of flux, and they know they're not getting rid of Bijan, so they went ahead, and by the time he gets to the 3rd year of this thing, it's really a 5 years, a 2-year plus a 3, makes it a 5-year deal. By the time he gets to year 3 or 4, it might be, it might have to renegotiate it then. So it might, if some other running backs come up and do a good job, that might not be a deal that's going to hold up. But anyway, he $51 million, 4 years or 3 years, $75 million, up to 51 guaranteed. That's a big number. And then the other big number that makes him the highest paid running back, APY, average per year, 22.2 is the highest of the running back. It's 22.25, 3 years, $75 million. Bijan Robinson, Falcons going nowhere without him. Might as well pay him. That's what they did. And so we talked to Mike Petrie. We're going to hear from him. I hope this audio is loud enough for us. And good for Bijan. Here we go. Here's Coach Petrie.
Like him and I talked about when we drafted him, there was going to be a point where the game slowed down for him. And I think the fact that the game slowed down, obviously he's a natural runner with the ball in his hands, but I think in the pass game, specifically pass protection, he does that at a really high level, takes a lot of pride in it, and ultimately that protects the quarterback, which gives us a better opportunity to win. So I think that part of his game has evolved the most.
Coach, how is his acclimation program? How would that look like here over the next week as y'all ramp him back up into things?
Yeah, Jake and Griffin, those guys, they have a great plan put in place for him, and they'll let me know what we can do and what we can't do, and so I'll just follow the rules and follow the protocol, and when we can use him, he'll be out there, and when we can't, he'll be getting his work in.
Was that the least?
All right, that's Coach Michael Petrie. Turn your volume up on that. I got to figure out how to get it higher, get a mic closer or something. We'll work on that for you guys. But that was key, though, because I've seen when the players come out from holdout and the coaches are mad and they run them, trying to get them in shape right away. And I know Mike Homer did this with Sterling Sharp once. Hamstring injury, boom. Now he's now you got to shut him down heading to the season. So they gotten wiser. They don't let the coaches control the punishment. He's going to be brought along slowly. Those 2 names he mentioned are the health and conditioning folks. And so that's what's going to happen. They're going to be like, hey, he can't run 4 plays in a row, coach. He's got to come out. Or, hey, coach, give him a play. We're going to stagger this thing and ramp him up. His acclimation period will be over next week. And then they will get him up to full speed. Don't expect to see him until the 3rd exhibition game. And that's key. Coach Kevin Stefanski said he's going to play the starters. He'll let us know when they are playing. Sounds like he wants the 1st week and the 3rd week for the starters. And so I would imagine Bijan will not be ready for the opener, but will be ready for if he goes in the 3rd game, because they're going to go coach practice in the middle game. So he's going to count that practice as the stuff for the starters there, I would imagine, and then let the backups have that game up in Indianapolis. So again, just wrapping up, Bijan Robinson, 3 years, $75 million, 22.25, top highest paid running back in the league with $51 million guaranteed. He didn't speak to the media today, but Coach Petrie did, Brian Robinson did, and Coach Stefanski spoke about him before practice, and they gave a good view of the situation for us. So with that, we're here at the Coffee House version of the Bowtie Sports Podcast this week. It's going to take it a little slow. There's a lot going on today. And we're giving Sideline Mike, and Nabias a week off, so I'm going to handle it. I got a lot to get through. And we're going to, just kind of slow it down, like they do at the Coffee House. I would have some music for you, but, you got copyright issues with regards to those. So let's move. Let's hear from our sponsor here.
Morgan the Bowtie Files is proudly presented by the Fears Group at Morgan Stanley in Atlanta. Led by Sonia Balfour Fears, certified financial planner, the Fears Group helps athletes, entertainers, and families build wealth that lasts beyond the headlines. With retirement planning, philanthropy, and global sports and entertainment expertise tailored to your stage of life. Map your future with a team that takes the long view. Call 470-449-0812 or visit advisor.morganstanley.com/The Fears Group. The Fears Group at Morgan Stanley, supporting your goals every step of the way.
All right. The Morgan Stanley Group, one of our lead sponsors here at the BowtieSports.com. We're at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, Coffee House version. I actually am doing the Coffee House version here. That is the back end of my Grady. That's the name's changed, so we're not going to show you that one. Carmichael Sports. All right. End of practice today. Jalon Walker goes down. It's described to me, we're looking at the field, we're away. I'm counting the rushers. I'm getting the defense lined up. AJ Woods is at nickel. Hughes was over here. Terrell right. Helms was in for Jesse Bates at safety and Xavier Watts. So they're rushing. Cooper Rush is leading the first team offense. Jack Strand the second. And Jalen's coming from the left over here. He gets really low. And it's been in the corners, what they call it. And Ethan Onyewa, they get tangled up or he pushes them down. And, we heard the noise. And he's carted off. He did kind of, I don't know if he put his weight on the cart, but he got on the cart and they took him into the locker room. Players were down on one knee. They knew to go down on one knee. They know when somebody's hurt. And, I was into practice. It was tough to see. We've seen a lot of injuries out on the field, but Jalon looked kind of stoic as he was taking the cart off of the field. The Falcons, via NFL Network, which is part owned by the Falcons, they said that there's a fear that he tore his ACL. They'll get an MRI to confirm it. We got no statements from the team on the injury. Just folks praying and sending their condolences after practice and so forth. So we will. Probably by the time you have this, we'll know if he's out for a season or not. But then we kind of got to know or see what they're going to do to try to replace him. And you got the Pierce situation. That's the only other big news left in Kent. Well, the quarterbacks, we'll get into the quarterbacks and the position battles later. But the Jalon Walker situation is ongoing. We'll update it on the website as soon as we hear anything. BowtieSports.com. Jalon had a good rookie year, 5.5. They were looking forward to putting a lot on his plate this year, maybe even taking some on the Caden Ellis role, even some off the ball linebacker things for him were in play because of his versatility. But now, backup plan will be a backup plan. Comes to mind to me, Braylon Trice might be involved there. Harold Perkins Jr. Might be involved there outside. He's also been doing pretty good inside. Spoke to the media after practice today also. So Aziz Al-Jalare, some of the veterans that they signed, everything's going to be in play now, trying to replace Jalon as they move forward on that side of the ball. He was, my story about Jalon, I liked the fact that we went out to the church in Tucker, Georgia, to see him passing out Christmas gifts to the youth of the community and shaking everybody's hands, taking pictures and so forth. Just a good way for him to give back. He was always respectful in the locker room and dealing with the media and, try to answer the questions as best he can. So we're going to wish him the best with this injury. Maybe, I think the good thing, you always look to see if they could put weight on it or not. And sometimes that's not a truth teller or not. But he was on his 2 feet. He walked a couple steps to the cart and got on the back of the cart. Okay, they didn't put like an air brace on it or tie him to a board or, do anything like that. But definitely carted off the field. It was into practice. Practice was over. And, everybody had to go write a story, do a burst. We got a burst up on our website. Then we added the quotes from Mason Smith, who was on the field at the same time, and Tua talked about the situation after practice at the podium there in the media room. So it's been a rough start to training camp for the Falcons. They, get some good news with Bergeron re-signing over the weekend, and then Bijan getting his deal done. The hold in was over, and then now this here situation. We also had, we talked about Jeff Ulbrichs' wife earlier, and sent our condolences, and we'll do it again at the end in part 5 here of the Bowtie Sports podcast, coffee house version. So we got a new Carrick upstairs, and we got some good coffee. And I just wanted to wind it down a little bit. It was a long day. I'm gonna get up and get back out there tomorrow. But we got sideline Mike. Let him regroup. And Tobias Wilborn, let him regroup up in Pittsburgh, and we'll be ready to go. The threesome back again next week. But so for this week, you got D-Led for the Hall of Fame. We're going to do some Hall of Fame talk here, but we're just slowing it down here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast. We want to hear from one of our sponsors next. Then we're going to move into the early stages of the position battles for the Atlanta Falcons.
Looking for a night that actually feels like one? Step into the Patio Social Club, Atlanta's destination for sultry music, stirring conversation, and a one-of-a-kind open-air cigar lounge where time slows down and every conversation lands a little deeper. Inclusive excellence is in everything they do. Reserve your spot tonight. Call 470-815-1860 or find them online. The Patio Social Club. Escape, unwind, and take the night somewhere different.
All right, they've got 2 locations. The Patio in Smyrna, part of the Chicago Pizza Complex and organization, and then out in Snellville. They're off of 124, off of Stone Mountain Highway out that way. A big complex. Used to be a Golden Corral out there. I don't get out to that one much, but definitely try to go do the basketball tournament games out there. But those are our guys, Keith and George Gallman at the Patio. We appreciate their support here at the bowtiesports.com website, and we're here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, coffee house version. We're chilling tonight, so we get you all ready for training camp. They put on the pads on Monday, had to take them off today, and they'll go back tomorrow. And then looking ahead, they are off on Thursday. light practice, practice on Friday. And then Saturday, they have their Friday night. Well, it's Saturday, but they call it Friday Night Lights at Lanier High School in Gwinnett. So, you can register for these practices, make it to the practices. It was a nice crowd out there on the hill. But before we move forward onto the position battles, we want to hear from Mason Smith, who was asked about Jalon Walker. So Mason,
I'm a little older than him, which is not all. It's not very much that I'm older than somebody. So when I could try to give him some knowledge or some game, I always do. But that's like my brother. Just being here after OTAs. I thanked all the guys about just taking me in and welcoming me with open arms. He was one of the guys that just kind of made the transition easier. And you're right. I haven't known Jalon for a long time, but I've always knew of him. In his football industry, you kind of know. Even going through high school and stuff like that, you kind of know guys. Different guys through the recruiting trail and everything coming through high school. So, but he's a great dude, man. Great dude, even better person, great player. Great dude.
Yeah, that's Mason Smith. Good friend of the program. We know his Uncle Lee Cotton, one of the fine attorneys here in the state, retired. But we talked to him after. We said, hey, your Uncle Lee's been telling us all about you all summer, or the last couple of years since he got drafted, because he was down in Jacksonville and got traded here with for Rookoroa Rule. But my little cousin Jeremiah Ledbetter played down there. They know each other. So wish him the best. But he was talking about Jalon, how they've become friends and how he was just over his house. And, wishing him the best. So moving into segment 3, segment 4 is the Hall of Fame. In segment 5, we'll do some condolences and get up out of here. But segment 3, position battles. Been monitoring Coach Stefanski, heard him again today. Don't put too much in the rotations early, but quarterback has been okay. I try to prepare y'all for Penix not being ready. The August 25th is the 9th month of surgery. It's a 9 to 12 months recovery. He can't go out there pretty much, unless it's a medical miracle. Adrian Peterson, made it back so fast. Cam Akers, but I don't know if that really did Cam Akers any good, because I don't think he was able to sustain it. So there's nothing good to come out of rushing back from an ACL. And so, 9 to 12 months for Michael Penix. Now, Tua's injury, slight back injury, he's yet to do a full practice. He said he's going to probably be able to go full tomorrow, which would be Thursday the 5th, August the 5th. And if so, that would be his first day. So Trevor Siemian couldn't play. They had to go get Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush had a bad year in Baltimore last year. He had some good times down in Dallas, but he's running the first team offense right now. Okay, and then Jack Strand, he's a big kid from Minnesota. I've been telling y'all about the 42 touchdowns, 14 Division III, I believe it is. He's a big kid, but, this is way, way fast for him. So, he's got to speed up throws, stuff's in the dirt. But good-looking kid. But, yeah, you normally have, Tua Penix running 1-2. They were doing a 2-minute drill today. A lot of balls on the ground. I charted it. It isn't worth. Well, we're not going to talk about keeping stats in training camp when they're not in pads. But some people do it and they get a kick out of it. But it's hard to, it's nothing. All I know is when they're in 7-on-7, the ball's not supposed to be on the ground. If I see the ball on the ground, that's a problem. It used to be on the ground a lot for Desmond Ridder. But anyway, so the quarterback position battle. If you had to go play today, that's always the rule. It'd be Cooper Rush. Okay, because Tua's not ready. The back tightness has been an issue, but they said they just want to ramp him back into things. But, I've seen a lot of, it's early in camp, so I don't want to get y'all fired up about the bad passes. But that's the quarterback situation. I don't want to. I'm not counting on seeing him before August 25th. That'll give you, a little bit of time to get ready for September 13th game. But, when he's out there, you've seen some of the videos bombing through the Zachariah Branch at the end of practice. We know Michael Penix can throw, so I'm not going to get excited about that. So that's their quarterback situation. It's not the best because you got everything else working around you. You're trying to. And right tackle is problematic for him. That's the second one. We're talking about position battles. Mike Jarrell's been over there. They got Ethan Onawaye over there. Wanye's been over there. Everybody but Jawan Taylor. It's been reported he has elbow surgery, his last thing. And, we tried to get an update today out of Coach Kevin Stefanski, but he said he was, not ready yet. So we will keep you all posted on that right tackle spot. That's where the injury occurred over there too. So we'll see as we move forward. All the guys, I thought Jack Nelson should get a shot, but he's not there. So it's an injury situation or some deal with him. But we'll monitor that. It's early in camp, so you can't say it doesn't look good, don't look bad. It's gonna get better. Juwan's gonna be back at some point. He's a veteran. He started 111 games. Yeah, he's been penalized a lot. But as they get closer, some of these veterans kind of, they get healed right before the games. He can get healed right in time for that third exhibition and then get ready for the season because he's been around a while. So I've seen that over the years. Nickelback is another interesting spot. We talked about that in the last podcast as we were breaking down the defense. Want to see how it was going to shake out. A.J. Woods is the leader in the clubhouse. But no, Coach Stefanski said don't put too much stock into the leaders in the clubhouse because they're going to rotate guys in or out. You got a couple guys, Darnay Holmes, Avion Terrell's been in there. That's gonna be a rotational spot, and he said don't put too much stock in it. So we're not. We're gonna keep it moving and just keep track of it as we move forward. We'll be out there tomorrow, Thursday, and then Wednesday, and then Friday, and we'll have some people at the Lanier. Lake Lanier Friday nights, Lanier High, not Lake Lanier, Friday Night Lights deal on Saturday. Regroup and get ready to go into the next week. And is that Indianapolis next week here? We're 5th, boom, boom, boom. No, we got a whole week here next week. And NABJ conference getting an award on Friday. So we'll go to those other practices, not the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So, position battles, that's it. Oh, inside linebacker is the other one. And we've seen Harris there. We're seeing, my people were telling me before camp that, hey, Perkins is doing great and he might start. And I'm like, well, I got to see that. And so I saw Christian Harris out there, and now Perkins was out there with the ones. But now he might have to go to outside linebacker. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use him. He's got the athletic ability and so forth. We know him from his LSU days. So those are the position battles. Don't get too enamored with the rotations here early on. Only one pad at practice. And so one of my good friends on Facebook, one of the Falcon fans, I take a couple of things over there. If you join the Bowtie Sports Club, we're going to have an exclusive group for them and where I can, give you some inside information and so forth. Right? They were like, hey, how they're looking. I was like, hey, I need more than one padded practice. So, they look great running around in shorts. They're pro athletes. As far as playing football, I need more than one practice. So we're going to keep going and try to see this thing come together. They can line up. They look good. They run their plays. Supposed to look good. So, but we're going to see it all come together. So that's our third one. We did Bijan Robinson, Jalon Walker, the position groups, and now we're going to hear from Marietta Property Management, our IT group.
When the stakes are high and the deadline is real, you need a partner who can move the work forward. That's Marietta Project Management, LLC. Specializing in expert corp-to-corp project management, MPM helps companies deploy solutions, manage change, and deliver results without the chaos. From scoping to handoff, they own the outcome. Visit MariettaPM.com to start the conversation. Marietta Project Management. From plan to delivery, done right.
All right, dear Orlando Ledbetter, back here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, the coffee house version. And the season starts in earnest Thursday night with the Hall of Fame game, 7 p.m. We usually go to that, but we elected to go to the Omega Grand Conclave this year. So we're gonna skip Canton this year, but we'll be back, hopefully, good Lord willing, next year to cover things from there. But, this was quite the class here. I forget how many years, but I think it's 16 as a selector on the committee. And, this was a tough, the Belichick thing came down. I mean, I didn't write anything because we never write about it. That was our policy. It's like, hey, you could be on the committee, but we're not, writing about it. And so I never really expressed my views on that other than I thought he was in, but we're going to keep it moving. He wasn't. And so we'll keep it moving with that and talk about the people who are going into the hall. A lot of us, we this is a NFC South. It's got NFC South got something to say about the Hall of Fame class of 2026. Saints quarterback Drew Brees, former New Orleans Saints and San Diego Chargers quarterback, 13-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl XLIV MVP, and one of the most prolific passers in the NFL will head up the class. Larry Fitzgerald, the legendary Arizona Cardinal receiver, 11-time Pro Bowler, and second all-time in the NFL history for career receiving yards and receptions. All right, another NFC South, Luke Kuechly out of St. X in Cincinnati and Boston College. Star Carolina Panther linebacker, 7-time Pro Bowler, and Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I was the presenter for the last kicker to go in, Uncle Mort, Uncle Anderson there. And we got Adam Vinatieri going in this weekend in Canton. It's a good time. If you haven't been, you got to go. And they do a great job up there. That's usually the highlight of training camp for me is going to Canton. But I'm not going this year. The NFL's all-time leading scorer, longtime Patriots and Colts kicker, and 4-time Super Bowl champion, known as the most clutch kicker in league history. He will go into the Hall of Fame, get his bust made, and go into the room. And then Roger Craig, the pioneering San Francisco 49er running back, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and the first player in NFL history to record 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. Roger Craig was a fine running back at Nebraska and did it in the pros for the 49ers. So that's your Hall of Fame class. Enjoy the game. Not a lot of people are going to play in that thing, but, enjoy it. That was a pretty good class. NFC South had a couple in there. So, people were asking me. I was talking to Otis Smith on the Interruption podcast, and he said, well, how's Julio going to go? I was like, I think Larry Fitzgerald jumped over the receiver group. Julio will be in that same situation. But, I still got, John Abraham out there in the pass rusher. Didn't get much traction. Like to see him get more. He's got as many sacks and would have had a whole bunch more if he wasn't hurt and they didn't know how to treat his groin injury and so forth. So he certainly at 133 sacks they need to relook at it. John Abraham is, and then Julio, and then of course, Matt Ryan will be coming up down the road here too. So that was the Hall of Fame segment. We're going to come back and wrap things up here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast. We are doing the coffee house version here, just kind of taking it nice and easy with our guy, Sideline Mike, and the Bias getting the week off here. So we get ramped up in training camp. They'll be back next week, and then we'll start talking about that Colts practice. That'll be a big topic. We'll know about Jalon's back. We'll know more about I'm not expecting the quarterback update, but should be on Tua. We should have one, but not Michael. I don't think so. But we'll just keep grinding away here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast. Here's another word from one of our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by NicheVet Reverse Recruiting, built by a 30-year technical recruiting veteran and physical AI insider. Stop sending applications into the void. NicheVet flips the model. Qualified physical AI employers come to you. If you're ready to stop applying and start getting hired, visit physicalipros.com/reverse recruiting.
All right, Orlando Ledbetter here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, Coffee House version. We're going to wrap it up here. Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich's wife passed away, and we send along our condolences from the Ledbetter family, from the BowtieSports.com family, from the Bowtie Sports Podcast family. He was back at practice, but it had to be really tough. They met as college sweethearts, I understand, at the University of Hawaii, Manoa. I believe that's correct. And had 3 kids. So now Coach Jeff's got 3 kids, and so forth. So we want to just send our condolences to him and his family. He's been nothing but good to us here since 2015 when he came here with Coach Dan Quinn's staff. Followed him as he went to the Jets with Coach Sala. It was the Jets thing. And then he was the interim coach there and then brought back here to help out Raheem Morris and his staff and stayed over for Stefanski's staff. So he's been nothing but great to Atlanta and the Atlanta media. And so we sent our condolences to Coach Ulbrich and his family. Now, also one of the trees of the pillars of the community, and our good friend of the program, Rashana Ali, her dad, the legendary Buck Godfrey, passed away. Also, one of our Omega brothers there, legendary coach Quincy Carter, winningest all-time coach in DeKalb County, got the stadium named after him, and he passed away recently too. We will send our condolences to the family. And then also a good friend of ours, Robert Mason. A lot of folks who send their kids to college know about the Common College application. That was his work. That was his endeavor. And he sent over thousands and thousands of kids to college on scholarship out of Virginia State University. Robert Mason, he passed away. So sorry to be but it's life. So people are lifing, and some really, we just wanted to send along our condolences to those 3 groups of folks as we wrap up here at the Bowtie Sports Podcast, episode 12, the Coffee House version. We'll be back. It's not a lot of football to get excited about yet. Only 1 padded practices. They don't have the position battles are going. They're getting their system in. Bijan's deal's done. We'll keep track of Jalon Walker's injury. Tua should be back, and we'll see, how things look as they start moving forward closer and closer to that joint practice with the coach. Now, they'll be throwing a ball around at Lanier High on Saturday, so you got a chance to get your tickets and get out to see that. But, yeah, you're going to come away impressed because they're pro athletes and they look good in shorts and stuff. But football-wise, it's got to ramp up a little bit. And so, this is okay to have the Coffee House version now. When we get fired up about some real live tackling and hitting, we'll be here for that. And we get excited about those things. So just wrapping it up here today. Bijan Robinson got his deal, $51 million, 75, 3 years, 75, 51 guaranteed. His holdout is over. Hold in is over. Was back at practice today. They'll ease him in. Drake London is supposed to speak tomorrow, and then Penix, or vice versa. So at some point, we need to hear from Bijan. And I'm sure they'll get that taken care of. Jalon Walker's injury, we'll stay on top of that. Position battles, kind of early. Don't get too fired up about who's where at this point. And then we got the Hall of Fame, special time of the year. They really do a great job up there. I'll be sitting around Saturday watching the speeches. I'm going to skip the Lanier deal so I can watch the induction speeches. I always get a kick out of that. And then, our condolences to those families that we mentioned. Jeff Ulbrichs, Buck, Godfrey, and also Rob Mason, our dear friend. So with that, we're going to end it here. We're going to get some sleep and get ready for practice in the morning. Take care.